Gotta relax.
This is Earth Radio. And now here's human music.
Human music. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Gotta relax.
This is Earth Radio. And now here's human music.
Human music. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Gotta relax.
Radio. And now here's human music.
Human music. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Gotta relax.
This is Earth Radio. And now here's human music.
Human music. I like it. I like it. I like it.
Hello. Let's just make sure this is reading okay. Greetings. I love it.
I love it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Ian, and I am a Void Strummer. I don't know. Am I Void Strummer? Am I with Void Strummer? Is Void what? I don't expect me to fully understand the existential relationship happening here. Greetings and salutations. Here's Bug Vision for you. Nice to see you. I love the potential of these patterns. See, to me, this is just another kind of procedural art. Marilyn Monroe, Dietrich on and DiMaggio. As I need to pop it and lock it. Anyway, let's proceed. Bug Vision, greetings and salutations. Glad you could be here. There we go. So I've got a little bit of some base meshes that I'm exploring for the Chill Mushroom Bros procedural collection by Batman Pop Tart, otherwise known as Colt and Clay and myself. Excuse me. And we've hit upon a look or a direction that is starting to feel right to us. So this is what Batman sent me over this morning. I love it. So I'm just bros with Batman. Batman and I are doing a thing. You know, crime hasn't been Crime ain't what it used to be in Gotham City, so he's got some free time. He's trying to keep himself busy. So Batman and I have been. He sent this over, this concept sculpt. We've kind of been going back and forth on a bunch of possibilities and finding reference that we think is kind of taking us in the right direction for these characters. So something I want to explore today is the possibility of taking a base stem and then blending a mouth and other facial features in a satisfactory way while having those mesh elements remain separate, or determining what other options there are with respect to getting these features to sit nicely. So for instance, like the eye sitting on the surface here, not already not that much of an issue as far as I'm concerned for this design. So we may end up just not blending them entirely, but I would love to have a nice integration with a mouth. You know, I'd love to have that feel like it's part of the stock rather than sort of being a beak or a snout or that sort of thing. I really feel I feel strongly about finding a way to get a good blend there. You know, right now I'm hopeful that I'll be able to find something that allows us to kind of cheat it or automate the introduction of that blend once we get it over into Blender without destroying texture coordinates or solving the texture coordinates problem a different way. So let's go right ahead and see what we can figure out. So what I need is an element. I've got a stock here. I could use any one of the stock. I'll just use this one. That's what I've got handy. So let's make a mouth, a simple mouth here. And as a separate element, get it in the ballpark, but not perfectly matching. This is important. There needs to be some flexibility with these because I find that we can get more expressive, more diverse results out of this Mad Mr. Potato Head machine of procedural generation. It's called a shape grammer. If you've not tuned in before, it is a system that essentially it just picks. You know, it's like, oh, here's where a mouth should go. Okay, go over here and pick one of these mouths. And you know, it's like if you took Mr. Potato Head and you squirted glue all over him, you threw him into the toy box and you shook it up, and then you took him out and you shook him off. Like the stuff that's stuck to him is that Mr. Potato Head creation. Now, it's not a perfect analogy because what you'd want is to have the parts going into each hole. It's like if you took a blind baboon and had them assemble Mr. Potato Head. But what I try to do is refine my blind baboon, the system that picks the parts. I'm trying to design it in such a way that it picks parts that have the high likelihood of working without being completely deterministic. Like the system has to be able to surprise me. Part of the surprise is the combinations. And let's see, since we're talking to folks that maybe haven't seen this before, let me open up one of the systems that I have working right now. This one's called Cousins. Don't save. Yeah, we don't need to save this. Just a quick review here to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So stepping back while we're waiting for it to load, I'm talking about procedural digital artwork. I'm talking about generating images in my case, but ultimately I want to generate all kinds of content. In this case, it's images from various sets of instructions. So, you know, it's like put this head here and then put the eyeballs on it, put the ears on it. And right now my system is really naive. As I was saying, it uses a shape grammer. And that's just a way of you know, creating a system of branches where it goes like, oh, okay, now we've done the mouth. Oh, I see the mouth has teeth. Let's put the teeth in, and then it picks the teeth and so forth. So it's a really interesting situation. Hey, Juan Iterbe, welcome very much. Sorry if I've mispronounced your name, but very glad to have you here. Feel free. Oh, E2. Now I know who I am speaking with. Yes, excellent. Well, glad to hear you. Glad to see you here. What are you working on today and lately? What are the themes that you're exploring, Juan? All right. Now, let's see what we got going on here. I was just demoing the cousin system for people that haven't seen it before. So so this is Blender. If you're not familiar with the software, I highly recommend it. It is a free and open source tool for creating digital art, and it is wildly automatable, among other things. So let's see. I'll focus on my work here. I'm going to go to the output These are called view layers. They just let you organize the scene with different sets of things visible. So you can kind of configure different views of the same scene. That's not the optimal solution here, but we'll get to that another time. So here is a cousin, and maybe we can make this cousin a little bigger. A little bit bigger, you know. Just get up here and let them see you, Jerry. You know, just let them all get a good look at you. Okay, all right. Here. Let's zoom. No, go back to the camera. No, it's. Am I going to crash? Oh goodness. No, there we go. There we go. Zoom in. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, okay, pretty good. All right, now we'll just go into like this. Actually, let's go into full rendered view. Let's see how that looks. We got to turn off all this extra stuff. There we go. So it's the preview render is not quite true to the path traced render, obviously. Otherwise, why would we use both? Anyway, so let me just quickly demo. I got a bunch of different parts here. I got heads, I got head shapes, I got mouths, I got necks, I got pupils. I got them all. Step right up. What do you need? And then I can just hit this grammar button, and it goes through and it picks new parts, you know, starting with some root of like, here's where some cousins could go. And it picks however many, and then it picks the configuration and so forth and so on. So it really produces quite a large variety of stuff. But Cousins was my first prototype project, and it's I'm now working on my next project, which is Chill Mushroom Bros. So let's get back on to that topic. Oh, that's right. I can't look there to see how long I've been live. Oh, let's see. A bit long to tell over here, but I'd love to have a chat with you about it. Involves API. I'll send you something on the Twitter group. Excellent. Oh, yeah. I am very curious. I've been thinking more about what other APIs I could integrate into grammar tools and other similar generators, since Blender has the Python link, and the number of APIs to different systems that are available via Python modules is just wildly vast. So the possibilities are equally vast. For instance, I'm sure this has been done, but OpenCV, Open Computer Vision, will let you do things like it has algorithms for object tracking in video. So the possibility of like recording animation with a simple custom plugin that integrates OpenCV is really within the realm of possibility, even for a solo studio. So I'm really getting excited about like all of the stuff that's possible by integrating other APIs. So yeah, looking forward to it, mate. All right. So what we're going to do here. So my mushrooms are very restrained right now. I'm just going to kind of give you my stream of consciousness because this is what flows through my head as I'm working. But my mushrooms are kind of restrained right now because I envision sort of bending them around using like a lattice deformer in Blender. So at this stage, I want to keep things kind of neutral, which is like it's tweaking with my head a little bit, right? Because I want to get in there and just like make the thing, right? But I have to. Well, I don't have to. I am choosing to. I am choosing to kind of inch it a little bit at a time and sort of like show some restraint and try to create a system that's as expressive as possible, and like has a lot of hooks to get in there and make tweaks and adjustments all along the pipeline. So the idea of posing the character at the last stage using a lattice deformer is really appealing to me. I've tested it out. You can really get a lot of variety out of it. So I want to maintain that possibility by keeping these characters neutral. All right. So we got to make like a mouth-ish thing here that we can put in place. So let's take, let's insert a polysphere. And we actually doesn't need to be a polysphere specifically because I'm just going to use the transform type and change it into this kind of parametric polysphere where I have control over the geometry. And I haven't done this in a while, so I think I'm going to indulge myself. I'm going to try to build like a nice mouth panel out of like using a combination of sculpting and like really low resolution mesh, and then I'll subdivide and play with it a little more. We're going to see where it goes. I like to challenge myself and fiddle with things along the way. It just makes me feel happy about my work. All right, so happy I want to twerk. Okay, so I'm thinking I could probably do like an upper lip and a lower lip. So maybe I'll just start with the upper lip. And maybe that's all we'll do. Because what I want to see is I want to see the blend around this area to the rest of the mushroom stock. I want to see what we can come up with there. I'm hoping we can do it with something like a screen space bevel, which is like a shader that I don't know exactly what it's doing mathematically, but it's manipulating the normals so that hard corners get turned into soft corners at the shader level. So even if two meshes are abutting one another, a bevel, screen space bevel shader, as I understand it, or effect as I understand it, should be able to sort of notice that extreme contrast in the normals of those faces. The normals are just it's a vector, it's a number, 3 numbers that tell the renderer what direction a surface is facing for purposes of shading. It's actually a really cool trick that's done in 3D graphics. It doesn't the normal can be computed from the 3 polygons that a face is, or the 3 vertexes that a face is made of, right? Because those establish a plane. So the normal is usually just perpendicular to that plane, and then when a photon or in a virtual photon array hits that surface, it does the math using the orientation of the normal. But you can also tweak the normal to make it look like the face is tilted a different way, which is really cool. In any case, we're not doing that right now. But it is just one of those rad facts about, clever shit people came up with in the world of CG. There's a lot of it, and I guess there's a lot of it in every industry, right? And that's what makes the world freaking great, right? That's what makes life such a fun time to when you're feeling it. Look, we don't get to feel it all the time, right? But when you're feeling it, it's one of the joys of the world, right? The fact that everything is an onion that you can peel all day long and not get to the bottom of it. Okay. Maybe for some people that's the nightmare. All right, let's see here. Let's just delete some faces. Actually, there's probably a better way to do this. We're in ZBrush, right? Something like that, perhaps, and then invert those. That's a start. Yeah, let's get rid of that. And that, whoop, what do we got going on here? Okay, what are we gonna do? Okay, let's do like this. Yep, there we go. These are the bits that I want, so let's del hidden. And let's see here. I think we could probably, we could make it smaller. I mean, we need to do that because I'm imagining a lip or a mouth element might be around here. And actually, this is kind of inspiring me to do I forget what the anatomical feature on the mushroom is, but there can be these rings along the stem. And I think that at some point, many mushrooms are like closed up, and it's like an attachment point around the stem, and then that releases and the cap expands from there. And I wonder, I don't know if that's always the case, but it's a cool little feature. I forget the name, but at least I got some trivia for you, Okay. All right, so a little kind of like, I don't know if you can see, but just kind of like a Simpsons mouth lip here. I don't want it to be too cartoony. I'm gonna try to strike a balance. Let's see. Let's grab. We're gonna stay in symmetry. In fact, for convenience, we probably won't bother breaking symmetry during this process. For those of you that are unfamiliar with the jargon I'm using here, you can see that when I'm adjusting this mesh here, it's you can see what's happening on both sides of them. It is copying the operation that I'm doing on the right side here to the left, the matching side of the left side. So that's called being in symmetry. I think hopefully that's evident. And then breaking symmetry is often when I work on a character, I will work in symmetry for as long as I can, because it's way faster, just a ton faster, and it's quite satisfying to me psychologically as well. But at some point, in order to finish the job, you always have to cut that off and say, okay, well, there need to be differences between these two sides of the character here. People look boring when they are overly symmetrical and stiff and less. Except for some clever exceptions, I'd say, if you want to leverage it. But I don't know. I don't need to point out every possible contradiction to the thing I just said. That's what my shrink keeps telling me. I don't know if she's right. I get the urge. All right. So that seems like a good start. Let's go here into geometry, dynamic subdivisions, and turn that on. What that does, subdivision, first of all, I guess know thy audience, right? But I don't know. I kind of enjoy talking through this stuff. It's fun, right? And it helps me to to determine how well I understand it. It's the Feynman method. Look it up. Yeah, that's the ticket. Anyway, so subdividing just means it's taking a. So you can let's look at this one here. You can see these big honking sort of warbly squares. And the reason they can be warbly is because they're made up of many littler squares, right? So that it allows it to have that illusion of a curve along each side. And subdivision is just a mathematical process by which the math says, okay, well, starting with these 4 points, where would I find, like the middle of all of these things? And then kind of how to decide how it's averaging the position of the points along the surface to give it a smooth transition. I believe one of the inventors, or certainly one of the contributors to that, was Ed Catmull of Pixar fame. Somebody, I think he ran Pixar for a while, but it's always fun to see like a name in the software. The software comes from very technical world often, and that's the Catmull-Clark algorithm. Oh, that's that Catmull? I don't know. It's satisfying. I think we talked about this on Modern Weirdos the other day too. But nevertheless, okay. So what we got to do now is we're gonna go and we're gonna use the thickness. I think here. Oops, no, but not on that part. That's not what we're here for. We got to go back to this part. And we're gonna add some thickness. Yeah, get thick. Beautiful. Thick upper lip. Thick upper lip. They don't really, that's not an expression, I don't think, but stiff upper lip, I guess. So it's like, I don't know. I should look that expression up because I'm not really sure. Stiff upper lip is like, because you're not bending it down to cry, I guess, something like that. All right. Now we can turn off post subdivision, and that's going to give us a nice smooth edge up there. And actually, this is probably fine. We probably don't need to do too much more right now because it's more in proof of concept stage here. Maybe I'll just make it a little beakier, for fun. And I'm just kind of playing at it right now. I don't have a particular plan. But yeah, a little beaky. The goal is, of course, to attach this in Blender and render it so that it appears to be a smooth transition, even if it's just two models interpenetrating one another, as we have here. And I've kind of made a good case scenario here where there's a bit of a smooth transition from one surface to the other, but it's certainly still a very, very hard line there. So let's make a new Blender file. General. Don't save. All right, and then we're gonna grab all these bats here. And then we got to put this one up here. Okay, so here's the thing. We got to... I think what I want to be doing is when I send these to Blender, I want them to be of a certain resolution. So I'm just kind of going through this in my head. I think I have, So I have this very, very rough, low resolution version. This is the one I actually want to send over. So let's go to geometry, dynamic. Let's see where we want to go two levels here. We want to apply that, and then we also need to delete the lower levels so that it doesn't automatically send over the lowest resolution version. Now, ditto over here. And geometry, apply, del lower, and send the other bits along as well. I guess I should, I should definitely apply the subdivisions here as well. Apply. And del lower, and finally on the ground, which looks like it's just it's already set. We can go up here to visible, and that will start shuffling them up to the Blender file view. And let's add a camera. Camera is a friend to all children. we are. So like a little kind of bug's eye view, which I like.
Human music.
Set that up right there. Oh, it's just looking precious. And now I like a square aspect ratio, if I'm honest, these days. So I'm just going to square that up. Okay. I'll just bring this down here and rotate. Now I want to rotate on the x-axis. Yeah, that's looking nice. Okay. Yeah, good one. Okay. Now let's see if we can blend that upper lip. This is where we're headed into no man's land here. Save as. And let's see, it's cousins. This is Chill Mushroom Bros, bro. So this is let's see, Mushroom Master. Now let's make a new folder called Blending Parts 01. Yeah, you get the picture. I know you do. Okay, Blending Parts 01. I'm gonna call this Blend Upper Lip. Great. Let's add an iterator to that. Or a number.
Perhaps the number of the beast.
Maybe just the number 1 with a leading 0. Okay. What do we got here? We need to look at what we've got. So let's put this into viewport shading, and we're going to put this into cycles because for now, I am a path tracer kind of guy. That's my comfort zone. It's just way less to mess around with. And some limitations, as you would probably guess from a situation like that. All right. Now, we need some lights in this environment. That seems like a job for my lighting script. So let's not let an opportunity to use that go to waste. And let's see what we got here. Silhouette on. I gotta find the file. No, that's not at all what I want to do. No. Come on now. Let's get serious. Random meshes. No, that's not what we want to play with. Open file. And random. And I've made a lot more of these than I thought. Okay, there we go. Light spawner. Light spawner 01. We can grab that. And we can pop over here into scripting and just make a new script, paste that there. And I think this is a pretty large scale scene. So let's see, position range. Where am I defining position range? There it is. 5. We might need that bigger. Let's just run it and see what happens. Back to the lock with you, Nessie. Why did we fail? We're just going to have to debug its ass. Oh, there's no Suzanne there. That's right. This, this script has a bit of a dependency. You have to have a Suzanne at the center of the scene that uses as the origin. Monkey see, monkey do. All right, there we go. So now we've got some lights. I don't know, they're pretty close, but let's just see what they look like, shall we? We'll just we can plop that into this view over here. Man, I love the flexibility of Blender. Okay, so at least with this lighting configuration, almost immediately, I was like, all right, that kind of works, right? But let's proceed. Let's make the lighting situation far less favorable to us, because it may be. Let's get a kind of a harsh light there and see if we can pull it off. Shade smooth. See that? With these shaded smooth, with these lights kind of filling from several directions, all you're seeing is this little contrast point here. All right. Nevertheless, let's generate a few different configurations and see where we land. Yeah, see, this is giving us a little bit better idea. I think I'm gonna add. Should I add a minimum range to this? Like they're all really piled on here. Well, maybe I'll just increase the maximum rather than divest our focus, which is a risk at all times. All right, let's see. Put the camera there. Put your camera on. Grab a stick of juicy fruit. The taste is gonna move you. Well, it seems that in many well-lit conditions, there's already not a ton of problem with this type of transition. I imagine if the textures on these materials were running in the same direction, it would be basically a non-issue. I guess I still want to explore the possibility of using a screen space blend here. So, or I'm not sure if it's screen space, but a shader-based bevel blend, and see what kind of a result we get. I've played with them before. I want to see what the potential is now. So it's like I may be solving a problem that isn't much of a problem. So this gives a decent view of the issue at hand, though. I could in fact, let's reduce the number of lights we're creating here. Just to create the greater potential for contrast. There we go. Okay, so this is a good test scene. And then, I built a script to randomly generate lights, so I don't even have to think about it. I can just go, give me more lights. All right, okay. More lights. Oh, too many lights? Bash them right down. Less lights. See? You've got to shortcut these decisions any way you can. Or you've got to do what you've got to do, my friend. All right, blend upper lip. Here we go. Same. And then rolling into closer view, where we can get to know you. All right, I'll just put that data over there. And I do believe that I am stalling right now because I'm moving windows. I didn't realize I was doing it myself until I noticed I wasn't saying anything. All right, there we go. There we are. Very nice. All right, now let's grab. We need a shader view, so let's just go to. Let's just make another setup layout time. Here, over to the right, and let's grab this shader editor. And I believe these are all have polysphere. Well, let's see if they actually have. They may have come in and assigned a bunch of different materials to them. Yeah. It gave them each their own material coming in. So let's take, well, first of all, let's hide the lines, which are obstructing and obscuring my grand vision of this mushy mushroom model. Okay, now then, this model and this model are the two that I want to have share a material. So we'll just go, we'll rename this one to stalk. Or stem. I don't know, stalk, stem. There's probably a technical difference. I don't know if it's in that word. A fibrous extension. There's so many possibilities. All right, stalk. Just leave it at that. And now what we got to do, we got them both selected. This is the main one, which we've just edited. Now we've got to assign that material to the other one manually using this button. But if you have a whole selection, it can assign them to all of them, which is just one of those things you need to do pretty often in a 3D. So let's happy to have found that out. All right. Now then, now that these two are shared, let's just for funsies. Oh, that's the subsurface color I'm adjusting, and we actually have another option here. There we go. Okay. Nice. There we go. I'll just leave that there. And the ground. You can take the vertex color out of there. If you have any questions, feel free to inquire. Inquiring minds can ask if they want to know. That's perfectly valid. Okay. So, just putting in some colors for fun. I'm actually getting a little distracted. One thing that I know immediately that will improve the situation is going to subsurface scattering. Now, I'm just going to look at it, but honestly, it's like we can't throw this at everything, I don't think. But it's a known option. Actually, it's working less well in this instance, I think, because there is a fair amount of material that pushes back into the surface. It usually, okay, so my expectation was that it was going to soften the detail, but my mistake is that it's computing the additional light absorption where the two surfaces are interpenetrating here. So close to the edge there, it's absorbing more light. It's creating a harder edge here. So actually, I assumed incorrectly there. But we have this normal input. Now, I'm not sure how this is going to blend across meshes. I could see maybe if the meshes were merged, and merging meshes is mighty, mighty masterful. Maybe I can... No, I lost it. I got stuck. What can you do? Okay, so we have these two elements. I'm debating about what just putting them in the same. Let's just... I want to see this firsthand. So I'm going to take... Well, I'll take and get a winder here, and I'm going to look up the... I think it's Blender Bevel shader. Okay. Bevel node right here in the manual. The bevel shader can be used for rendering rounded corners. Like bump mapping, this does not modify the actual geometry, only the shading is affected. Slight rounding on edges helps to capture specular highlights that you would also see in the real world. Note that this is a very expensive shader. That's fine. I like fun. Speed is not required. All right. Now then, my guess is there's no indication to me here that this is going to notice any geometry that is not in the same mesh as itself. Let's see what happens. But so let's go to, I'm expecting to see no change. I like to predict, right? Because then that gives me something, that gives me like a corrective moment. I feel like it tricks my brain into remembering lessons better. So I like to say, well, here's what I think the outcome is going to be, and then respond to what I get. I don't know. I feel like it helps me to learn more effectively. All right. So let's see. What do we got? We need Bevel. Dr. Bevel, waiting for you. So we'll put this into the normal. So yeah, I'm not seeing a difference here. Actually, let's, instead of, oops, crikey. Nice. Oh, I love that random light system. Very handy. So yeah, I'm not seeing any difference here across our seam. So that I would guess is to be expected, as I said before. So what I'm going to do instead, let's see, is this? Let me make sure I've got the correct pieces. I'm going to name this stuff briefly. Okay, there we go. I need to turn this on so I can see that I have the stalker. Jen's got the stalker. The upper lip. The upper lip of the upper order. And what is this? This is the cap. Fresh cap. And then there was some ground, which is already named. So good on it. All right, then that makes it just a little bit easier to select things over here, I think. All right, let's see, and make a copy of the upper lip. Oh, I gotta be over here to do that. There we go. Right click, let's go a bit, and then we can turn that off. Right, because I'm gonna take this stock. I don't want to have these merged, you know, like I want to have a version that's not merged. So I'm gonna take that one there and merge these two. Right, but I'm not gonna go into a totally different accent. That's fine. It's all cartoons up in my head right now. Let's see. Let's have this one selected and this one selected. And then we go over here. Control J does a join operation on them. Joined stem. Now, this I would expect to produce a smoother edge. But let's see if we get that. Because the meshes are now part of the same Polysphere 1.001 mesh, and they're both have the stock material assigned to them. I might have to check another scene just to make sure that I have this set up correctly. Would be ashamed to make that error. Oh, let's see. I have the. Just realized I still have the base color on here. Let's just pick a nice color that we like. How much is that dog? This might be working. How much is that doggy in the window? The one with the waggly tail. Turn that way up. Yeah, it's definitely doing something because now it's not doing what I wanted to do. Now, this is interesting too. I'm not sure why I have some... these appear to be in the wrong smoothing group, or there's something going on with the smoothing group there. I'm not sure what that is about. That'll have to be investigated separately. But okay, so this is definitely working now. So let's put this back down to 1. Yeah, oh my God. Yeah, that has a tremendous impact there. Okay. Now, I wonder about merging the pieces without like losing their individual. I'm assuming they will keep their UV mapping, but now I'm going to have to set up. Okay, so there is a way to set up multiple materials on a single object. So I'll have to do that. And then the question is, okay, there are many questions. As you might have noticed, there are many questions emerging upon the pouty lips of your host today. I think this is going to work, though. Let's try. I don't think I've ever done this in Blender yet, but we have the stock material. So let's call this stock. And then let's make a duplicate of it called lip. Now, I'm just thinking a little bit about what I'm doing here. Oh, they still have the same one applied. Okay. Oh, that's right. We need to go over here. It's because it's all one. So we need to add another material slot and make it stock. And then I think we need to... The question I don't know the answer to is how to assign these to the individual parts. So we're going to figure that out as well. This means, okay, all right. So let's open up. Okay, this is join stem. Let's open up in edit mode. And let's grab... let's see, press 3 for faces, and then select this face here. I think it's P. No, it is L to expand the selection to all of the adjacent connected faces, giving us access to this element by itself. Now, I think, yeah, here we go. Stock, assign. Okay. And now what can I just Control I to invert? Yeah, there we go. Lip, assign. Okay, stock. Lip, stock, lip, stock, lip. All right, great. So that works. So we can edit, exit, edit mode, edit, exit mode. Either way, we're going to get out. We're getting out. And so it's impossible to tell whether it's working because my eye is only picking up on the contrast here. So it's only going to smooth the normals. So this would have to be, I'm still going to have to figure out how to make sure that the materials can effectively flow or hide these seams. Okay. Well, this has been very useful, though. Okay, let's take, if we move this to a similar color, then it's almost completely invisible. And then once it's got, wrinkles or some kind of material mapped onto it, very promising indeed. All right, well, in that case, I guess my efforts need to turn back to building components, which is what I was up to over here. So I guess we'll wrap out the show on that note. We actually just need to start up a little timer here. And what do we just got? Oh, yeah, blend parts exploration bevel. All right. So I'm just going to set that back to the beginning of the show. This is my little time tracking behind the scenes you're getting here. Stop. All right. So then that just logged my time developing that particular bit of knowledge. And now I just start up my sculpting timer again. And we going to get back in here. All right. So here we are, just back in ZBrush. And I think I want to undo I want to put this back into dynamic subdivision mode. So, that's the ground. So this one should have a few undo levels. There we go. That's where we left off. There we go, where we left off. All right, so that gives me a little more flexibility. I don't want to give up those that flexibility until I'm good and ready. All right. So let's see. Here's like a nice neutral version of this mouth. And let's just go hog wild and make some more parts here. Let's grab. What does this look like? Oh, no. Ah, so we have the other wrong bit selected. There we go. That's what I wanted that selected. 0. Sonya. Mortal Kombat.
Gotta relax.
Let's duplicate. Send this right up to here. And we can hide that one. And now we can make let's make one that more of a skirt all the way around. And we'll change the style of the mouth as well a little bit. I think that there's room for a wide variety of mouths for these guys. Move this up higher as well. Took me a couple days to find my zen for this project again, as I've had to be off of it for a while. But now I'm getting excited about just making parts and seeing what comes out and tweaking the results, rinse and repeat. And I have a limited amount of time to make as much progress as possible before we need to lock down and say, okay, this is what we're making, and build that system for real. Right now I'm in the stage where I can still explore and experiment, and there's room for mistakes to be made and room to discover, go in this direction. But at some point we have to say, this is the direction. So I want to get as much out of the R&D phase as I possibly can. So let's see. This is kind of more of a skirt. It's fun to learn how hard all this stuff really is too, after trying to be a backseat art director and backseat game developer for my entire video gaming life, right? Like, oh man, when you got to make systems of things fit together, forget about it. You got shit to figure out there. I love it though. It's really, really interesting stuff. Punishingly difficult, and so far I'm not involved in any situations that make it especially financially rewarding. But that is secondary. Fortunately, I am privileged to have that be secondary. So let's make the move. All right, we spent enough time on that one. So let's duplicate this one up here again, turn that one off, and make this one more conservative. Maybe what I'll do is I'll build a grammar whereby upper lips then pick lower lips. So I can build alternative lower lips that match different possible looks or different possible combinations, so that they all fit together mainly. I'm a little hopped up on these beaks after saying I wanted to avoid beaks.
I like it.
Hopped up. What's that mean? Well, I guess I'm getting some beaks. It's all right. Sometimes you gotta take what you get. Brain might not be generating the thing you think you want. I'll just take what I get for now. I find that there's always, well, this is actually not the case, but it's wise to plan for taking a few more steps. I fall into the trap of taking the first thing that I could accept in the past. And now I like taking my time a little bit more.
I like it.
I guess I like beaks today. I got to discover the possibilities here, right? Let's see. Let's make some really like a little conservative mouth. Something teeny weeny. It's wide. Come on. And it's very pokey. Let's unpokey that. There we go.
Gotta relax.
Don't want it, it's not a woodpecker. It's a mushroom. Ah, human music. You guys enjoying the human music today? Can you hear the human music today?
Human music.
Human music. I like it. Maybe we could do like a kind of a simian or primate mouth, something like a chimp. I think that has potential.
I like it.
Yeah, let's take a duplicate of this. And now, find the other one. And now, make it like a Planet of the Apes style muzzle here. But if I can kind of keep it on the, keep it along the lane, or, along the, near the same plane as the surrounding faces, then maybe I can get enough of a blend out of it to, I guess that wouldn't be the case everywhere. At some point, you got to commit and say like, hey, we're snouting it up over here. Or do you? Right? Can I just like make this more of a... There we go. It's very bird-like. I don't know if these ones are going to fly in the long run. Trying not to shut them down preemptively. Like they only take seconds to put together, so I don't want to throw them out too soon. It's a very exploratory process. At the end of the day, like you're looking for something that doesn't yet exist, at least in your experience, to bring to life. So it pays to let things develop. These are kinds of things I say to myself when I'm doing this anyway, so I might as well say them on a live stream. I wonder about mouth shapes and how much of that is going to stay working. Like if they're going to be too neutral ultimately. And there's no sense in getting worried about it now. Split mast points. I got to get enough together to even test the idea. Jamie, how's it going, buddy? Just checking in while I'm digging in the yard. I like it. Love what you got doing here, brother. Thank you very much. Appreciate you saying so. Yeah, we're coming along. I'm just I'm unpacking a whole philosophy of like, is it working? Is it not working? When do I want to let go? How far to go before letting go? And all that sort of artist self-psychology that I'm sure you're also very familiar with. So having a good time with it though. And we did a nice test. I don't know if you caught it before, but we did a test. These are two separate parts, but it's barely perceptible because this bevel node is creating a smoothing between the normals of everything on the surface at the shader level. I think we talked about this before. Anyway, I tested that out again today to see what we could get away with in our system, and it looks promising. So I think between that and textures, we can get a nice effect here. All right, let's see. Let's do something I like here, like an eye, for example. Just pondering some possible approaches to this, but I think I'll just go in direct. Let's go to this mesh here. Oh, I'm all out of liquid. Excuse me. Let's see. Yeah, it's working great. Okay, so let's go brush, insert mesh. No, brush, insert. And then we're going to check out. There we go. Once there was an eyeball that I inserted to a mesh so I could see what it could look like. La 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 la. Da, da, da. And I noticed on your test piece that actually that eyelid blends really well just by virtue of the texture and similarity in color. So I'm hoping that that'll mostly be the case with these, is if we can just strike that balance with the design of the materials. I think that'll be optimal. Let's see. Let's make this. Let's make them sort of long. In this case, kind kind of tilted, maybe a little sad.
Human music.
I want to. Should they be huge? I think the mouths are too. I made the mouth like too big in this case. So let's. Here.
I like it.
Yeah, there we go. Looking pretty good, kid. All right, you're gonna go far in fungus land, let me tell you. All right, let's see. I don't know. So I'm not feeling this. Ooh.
I like it.
These teeny tiny little eye spots here. Kind of into. Well, one thing that the stem doesn't afford, but maybe that's just a question of like, making more stems, is it doesn't really have an inset for eyes. And I guess it doesn't necessarily need one, like growth eyes versus inset eyes. Eliminating the human voice seems. Oh, let's see. Yeah, I think the face features carrying a similar palette will also help eliminate the human. I see the human voice, the artifacts of these hands. All right. Let's turn that one off. And this is such a low resolution mesh underneath of here. I'm not sure how much flexibility we're going to get out of it, but we'll ask. We'll ask and see what we get. Yes, we can give this one like kind of more cheekbony thing here. This thing just makes it look like a bird to me all the time. 24/7, trying to fly the coop. Here.
Gotta relax. This is Earth Radio. Now here's
It's little baked bean eyes. I think these definitely require some nice slopey lids. Let's make
I like it.
I don't want to make the lids. I think I can do. Let's try this just for funsies. Mesh project, but turn the size down all the way. We'll turn off these eyes for the moment. And then let's turn down the lazy radius on these. I think this should give us a mesh. No, see, that's not at all what it did. Let's go to this mode. I think I may have to go. Yeah. Oh, no, draw size is set to 1. This is a Z intensity situation. It could be a Z intensity. Let's try that. Yeah. All right. Is that one-sided? Is the next question I have. Let's solo this. Oh, I need to split mass points. Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's roughly what I want. So, oh! I bet I know how this works. Well, I have a guess at least. We can get rid of these little smears here. Bye. Oh shit! Glad that I made a copy of that. Duplicate. This is why they have the sort of, are you sure you want to do that kind of shit? Because it could go bad on you, pal. Delete. All right. So let's take this guy. Let's put this back where it was. Somewhere like that. I don't know. Actually, I should be drawing them on this version here because they're already poofed out somewhat. Yeah. Oh, the human face. Gotcha. Okay, so mesh project is there. We can set the draw size up somewhat higher, I think. There. Now I think that's going to result in bigger polygons. No, it's not. Well, let's see here. Make it much bigger. No, that's not how that works. Okay. So we know that Z intensity is the thickness.
Gotta relax.
Huh. I was hoping there was going to be, maybe this is under stroke. I remember there was some bits here. there were some settings for this thing. No, it's under, maybe let's try brush, mask mesh modifiers, resolution. Let's try turning that down to 16. Better. Yes. Okay. Much better. Not optimal, but let's go with it for now. Turn this on somewhere in that neighborhood. There we go. Oh, is that just teeny tiny right there? Or let's see. Can't tell. Yeah, I think it's just teeny tiny. I don't think that they're any bigger than that. So we got to learn. Oh, I guess we really trade off precision here in this instance. This is probably not going to turn out to be the optimal way to get this done. I just relish the idea of having like a nice surface there. Now I have, yes, these are still installed. Okay, multi-topo. This might be useful. Let's try this out. What do we got here? We got a bunch of different brushes that contain different base topology for us to utilize. I think a simple square will be sufficient. So it's going to draw this, and I think it's meant to track the surface underneath. Now, what are we going to have to do? We make this transparent ghost. What do I got to do to see my mesh here is my ask. Let's see, maybe split masked. All right, now we got a couple of squares here, and we can set this to transparent. Now we can see what we're doing. All right, cool. Now we can go down here to Z Modeler, and what do we like automatically? And oh yeah, that's right, because it inherited the dynamic mode from the other setup. That's why they didn't actually match the surface properly as well. So move points, and then brush runner, snap to surface, and so we can get these down to like some eyelid areas here. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid we won't get too much further into this high-tech eyelid demo because I am scheduled to depart very shortly. But thank you so much for being here. It has been a pleasure to talk into the internet ether. And I trust that the video on demand version will find more and more of you that enjoy this sort of mad debauchery in the Polygon laboratory. So until next time, this has been Ian with Verbal Processing. Excuse me, Voidstrummer. Verbal Processing was something I did in the past. Verbal processing is not the word I meant to say there. Voidstrummer is the name of my art practice. It deals exclusively, or primarily, I should say, in procedural illustration, developing ideas and methods, and exploring what I can get out of various procedures and systems now that it's become so possible with Blender and Python and all these accessible tools. So if you're into that sort of thing, if you like to see where the intersection where art and invention and technology meet, please go to voidstrummer.com and have a look, give me some feedback, purchase my work on Hiccup Nunk, and look for other opportunities. Oh, go over to modernweirdos.com and consider the purchase of a Crypto Kid or one of our upcoming projects. So that all helps out and keeps the music playing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, until next time, cheers.